This video is brought to you by Squarespace. So I recently watched a movie titled Flow. It was on Max, and I'm not gonna lie, the little Oscar nominee tag on it had kind of sold me a bit. I thought the cover was really neat, and my daughter loves cats, even though we have 2 dogs.
Guys, we really gotta step it up.
I more so wanted to watch it, but I also wanted to make sure that she could possibly enjoy it too. I was a tiny bit worried because this isn't like a Disney film, so I didn't fully know what to expect for adult animation. Like, sure, cute kitty, but am I about to put on like the feline version of Perfect Blue? It's rated PG, so it should be fine. And you know what? I love this weird-ass little movie. I'll hold off on spoilers for a bit, but it's about a cat. We'll call him Cat. 2 T's. Cat goes about their cat-like business in this strange world until a flood comes in and threatens Cat's livelihood. It is then when Cat has to adapt, survive, define his allies, define his foes, and go with the flow.
Oh, I get.
Fair warning, there is 0 dialogue in this film. You are watching a cat be a fucking cat for over an hour. And I'll be honest, at first, I thought the animation looked cheap. In fact, if I showed you a screenshot right now, you might think, oh, cool, what 2000s PC game is that from? Like, this frame right here specifically is 100% the thumbnail for a video titled The Crappy Madagascar Games or some shit like that. But the more I watched, the more I just started to kind of love the look. And even took in a few shots like, yo, that was actually like kind of beautiful. Like, it initially looked smudgy to me, like it was missing detail, much like the world we're introduced to, because we know nothing about where Cat is or where they're going to. We don't know if this is some magical planet or Tampa. I'm gonna start yapping about it now with no regard for spoilers. I think you should watch it. It's a cute movie. It can get a bit intense, fair warning if you got some kiddos watching it with you. But overall, it's just kind of sick. I don't know. If you're not gonna watch it, but you are curious, I'll try and keep you looped in still while I talk about the rest of the stuff. I watched Flow twice because I was still confused on a few things after my first watch. Like, don't get me wrong, the first watch I was dialed in, but I was also helping guide a child through this watch until we got to the scenes where even I was like, I'll be honest, baby, I don't even know what the fuck's going on right now. The second watch cleared a few things up, thankfully, but work with me here. There's a flood, and it seems like there has been floods in the past with a boat stuck in the tree early on in the film, when we first encounter the dogs. It's a whole pack, but I want to focus on the Labrador. He's an absolute doofus face, and I love him. We'll call him Dog. 2 G's. He ends up meeting with Cat later, and he's a good boy. Even in the beginning, when Cat's chased down by the pack, Dog isn't the aggressor, even though he's the first one to spot Cat. He's often in the back of the pack, like he's really just following them. My guy's just here for the vibes. And ignoring the potentially perennial natural disaster, Cat got a house. He hops in through the broken upstairs window and sleeps in a bed. There are cat statues outside of the home. Whoever lived here, or Cat's possible owner, seemed to be infatuated with him, drawing him, sculpting him, commemorating him at every turn. And you know, maybe we aren't so different after all. But then that outlook changed a bit when the flood started to rise so high up that Cat climbed a massive cat statue. Of Cat, I would assume. I doubt there was a competing cat sculptor within a mile. Hey, asshole! I'd call your 5 little statues and raise you a really big one. Do you even have a cat? Shut up. This movie inspires a lot of theories, so let me start cooking. Humans have existed at one point in this world, or maybe they still do. I'm assuming they don't, though. R.I.P. us. Because we later see a massive statue that is almost fully submerged of a person with their hand up, desperately awaiting a high five. I'm guessing the floods killed all the people, and only the animals were smart enough to survive. So it's like a Noah's Ark minus Noah. Negative times a negative equals positive. But why this big ass statue of the cat? Like, the smaller ones are excusable decor, but the big one is equivalent to that of gods, leaders, yarn ball lovers. I think Cat might have been the last cat alive. And I think the owner, when he was still alive, knew this. He somehow had a checklist of every cat in the world he knew. So to make sure that the next evolution would remember our furry friends, would remember our feline Fidus Ucadis, he built statues of Cat to mark the cat's place in history. Either that or Cat is magic. Cat is magic. Cat in the Hat. Prequel. Maybe the cat can't die, and he realized that, and he was like, this guy's a fucking god. Gotta start making statues of him. Maybe the cat can't die, because Cat should have died a few times. Refused. That litter box in the sky can wait. Fuck Tom and Jerry, I'll bomb and bury any spike with steak. 9 lives? I'll just knife you 8. Your family too. Pop your pop and your moms and your Grammy too. I'll maim the maid and sock your sitter. I'll rock your shit, then I'll box your litter. Hold on! Sorry, I just started writing that. This is good. Distracted. I get distracted while writing. No one else just starts writing battle raps. Mid-script, just me? All right. So the cat eventually links with what I can only assume is a capybara. And like in this world, animals aren't superhuman, but they can like steer boats and shit. We're gonna call the capybara Cappy. I'm trying to think of Cappy from my side. R.I.P. Cappy from my side. Cappy is honestly the unsung goat of this movie because he is the original captain of this vessel. I mean, is he a fat little shit that sleeps a lot? Sure. But he's one of the most, if not the most selfless animal on this adventure, probably to a fault. Let me just introduce the crew already. Cat, dog, one fine day with a wolf and a bird. Dog later finds us and he's separated from his group. Bird, I had to look this one up because I had no idea what the hell he was. Apparently this is a secretary bird, so I guess we'll call him Bird. Double D's. Bird is the tough outer shell type beat who's actually really caring. I think he sees Cat almost die like twice in front of him. Maybe that gained his respect, or maybe he felt bad for him. Like, damn, dog, you're having a bad day. Like, he tries bringing him a fish to eat out of nowhere, and he defends him when his pack of secretary birds try to kill Cat. The leader of the pack does not take well to this and beats his beak off. And then one of the pussies of the pack comes over and stomps on one of his wings. Fucking get out of here. Which prevents him from flying as his pack abandons him for defending Cat. There's a lemur who likes stealing shiny shit. He's a hoarder. We'll call him King Julian. Here, have another sacrifice. Some things that I'm confused on. We'll start small. The ball. I saw a ball floating by the cat statue when Cat's worried about the water level right before Cappy picks him up. And King Julian later collects that. Bird throws it out and Cat ends up finding it again, and it actually saves his life because he's able to float on it. I thought this was some magical orb that was going to eventually break and reveal a secret to us, but on my rewatch, I realized, oh, these orbs are hanging in Cat's home. So they're just home decor. Maybe you could look at it as like Cat's owner saving him from beyond the grave. Maybe those aren't decor. Maybe those are flotation devices that he set up for Cat knowing there was going to be multiple floods. Maybe. The sponsor. Today's sponsor is Squarespace. Squarespace saved me with some unreleased merch that I had been trying to get rid of. I got rid of some of it on a giveaway stream where I had to organize everything myself, and I'm honestly glad I gave it away because I didn't want to manage any payments. In fact, that was a big thing stopping me from selling the rest. Trying to figure out, be like, what am I gonna be the collector? Can you cash at me $20? What's your cash tag? Squarespace website. Not only let me sell the rest of these goodies, but they handle the payments for me while giving my customers the most popular payment methods. In fact, I launched the site a few videos ago. We sold out, and Squarespace has all the necessary shipping info beautifully condensed for me, which I will be shipping out personally soon. The design intelligence not only helps you create a good looking site, but it simplifies the process so much. I could have spent hours messing with more and more details on the site. In fact, I barely scratched the surface on what you could really all do, but after giving it some love and molding it, I was very happy that my site was live and functioned perfectly. lost-gg.com. If you want to look at it at this point, remember, we're sold out. Squarespace also helped guide me to buying a domain name for the Lost Collection, and the tools given to me might have you believe that I actually knew what I was doing. Rest assured, Squarespace was the real MVP here. I couldn't have done it without them, so thank you, Squarespace. Again, head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/MrGDubs to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. The sad scene. So, spoilers, Cat doesn't die, but so Bird abandons ship at one point and flies up to the top of this mountain rock formation thing. Cat, being his buddy, wants to desperately find him, so he almost drowns again and runs all the way up and finally catches him. They stand there in silence and bubbles start to rise around them as they both levitate towards the sky. Bird then flies up. Cat falls back, crying out for his friend, and the sky closes. Really? That's just great. You're gonna have me explain the metaphorical death scene to the child, are you? Just fucking kill him. Just kill him. Just kill him like Lion King. Don't do that. Kill him like Mufasa. That way, the horror and sadness is streamlined from film to child. Baby, I had nothing to do with that. Score's a douche. Cause this way, you put the onus on me to answer her many, what happened? What happened? What was that? What's going on? Well, the bird is no longer gonna be in the film. The bird has left the building. So like, I get it, right? He died. But I had to retrace his steps because I didn't know why. Bird was looking at this rock beforehand for a while, like he knew what it was. He helped steer the boat for a while and presumably steered them towards the rock. The incidents that led up to him leaving were picking up the rest of the dog pack who were stranded. Bird did not want to, probably knew it wasn't a good idea, but Cuddly Cappy was the first one on the scene, nagging him to change course and pick him up, and the rest of the boat followed suit. The dogs were shitters. The steer mechanism ends up breaking, they hit a bump. I wish I could hit a bump. And once they're by the rock, he flies off, still ailing. And none of that helped. Because I don't believe it was like oh man, these dogs are annoying, I'm leaving. And I don't believe it was oh, we can't steer anymore? Pfft, good luck, nerds. I think no matter what, Bird was getting to that rock. Shout out Larry. Either approaching it with, I'm that injured and will probably die soon anyway, so I'd rather go of my own accord, or what I believe, which is my wing is destroyed. I'll never be able to fly like I'm supposed to. My pack wants nothing to do with me, and Bird won't give the group a chance because he's so stubborn. And hey, maybe Bird stays if they don't pick up the dogs. Maybe the dogs being shitters once they got on board solidified Bird's negative outlook of, see, this won't work. You guys have enough problems. I don't want my injured self to be another. I'd rather just fly off, take this off your plate. And, does that explain the Secretary Bird gods opening the sky for his arrival? No, but I also can't explain why Cappy can steer a fucking boat. Sometimes it's just wonder. And, well, I guess it wasn't Cat's time, so he wasn't taken. But it is really nice to see, as we see Bird rise, he finally decides to move. And he flies into the sky, wings now fully healed. The Whale. Great movie. Good job, Brennan. Congrats on the Oscar. The other whale. So there's a mutated whale sea monster. He's got 40 extra fins. Clearly he hasn't been swimming in Boss. It was like the army did this experiment on him and it went terribly wrong. He's painted to be the monster. And he quickly clears a record after Cat fucking dies in the water, getting sucked into the abyss, eyes closed, body goes limp, everything. The silence in my living room during this scene. It wasn't even that I was sad. I was pissed. Dog, don't kill the cat, cause I'm gonna be sad and have to console an even sadder child. Luckily, the whale, we'll call him Will. Will swims up and lifts Cat up to the surface to breathe again. Will never attacks them, but he was always just kind of there. I thought maybe there were multiple of them, but it's the same dude, and he was just kind of swimming along with them. It seems like he just wanted some buddies, cause I doubt there are that many mutant fish present. Also, fun fact, whales aren't fish, dumbass. They're warm-blooded mammals. Make sure to correct anybody. Make sure to correct anybody on that when you have the chance. Anyway, I'm sad because the whale dies at the end. I'm skipping ahead here, but the water begins to lower and Cat can traverse on land again. And at the very end, finds a beach mutant whale slowly giving away. The monster Cat once feared was dying in front of him, and Cat went up and comforted Will in his last moments. Now, there is an ongoing, I don't know what the word for it is, thing in the movie, and it's reflection, I suppose. You could probably twist it a couple other ways, but Cat often looks at their reflection in shaky puddles. It's at the very beginning and it's at the very end. The key point being the tremor in the water. Cat also looks at his reflection in the upstairs window that is broken. King Julian holds this mirror that he finds as his prized possession. They actually run into a boat of other lemurs that have clearly stolen a bunch of shit too, and KJ's so excited to see them, but these dorks brush him off until he shows them the mirror, and that's when they care. Luckily, Cat scares them off the boat. Once the stranded dog pack is picked up, one of them breaks King Julian's mirror, and he's devastated as he stares into his broken reflection. Fast forward to the water level lowering. Cat was separated because of Bird dying and tries to find everybody. Cat finds KJ sitting atop a rock looking into the mirror with a group of thirsty ass lemurs all around him staring into it as well, amazed. KJ sees Cat clearly looking for everybody else but ignores him until he doesn't. He leaves the mirror with the lemurs and guides Cat to the group. And a little foreshadowing here as well, I suppose. They're stuck in a boat that's stuck in a tree with a fall to your death type bead below. They work together and get everyone off the boat, but Cappy, being the selfless boy he is, decided to jump last as the tree breaks a bit and he can no longer make the jump. Cat springs into action trying to get a rope thrown to the rest of the group so they can pull the boat towards the cliff. And Cat even falls, and Cappy saves him halfway through Operation Save Cappy. The shitter dogs get distracted by a rabbit, and Dog and KJ fight with everything they got and eventually save them both. And it's cute, and they're happy about it. But it is then when they see deer and antelope running for the hills, which is exactly what happened before the initial flood. And Cat runs knowing what's coming next, and that's when he spots Will and stops to comfort him. Eventually the gang catches up and they all realize this is a sad moment as Cat stares into a shaky puddle one last time. Dog, Cappy, and KJ gather around Cat and stare back as well. And it is only then when the flow of the water stops and their reflection is as clear as ever. So you can interpret it as now they're whole. This is the group we always meant to be. We're together. Happiness, we're happy. Woo. The dog pack were frauds, not real ones. That's why they broke KJ's mirror. In fact, when they first pull up with the boat to get Dog, Kat's looking through the broken mirror. King Julian stared at the broken mirror with those greedy-ass lemurs until he decided to catch up with Kat. I wondered about the warning of a flood at the end, because we don't see it, but it's the same warning sign there. I don't know if it was like a circle of life type beat, the flood giveth and the flood taketh away. There was also a dream of the deer circling Kat before a flood came in, and a scene of Kat in the water having fish surround him before Will showed up, making you think this circling was always going to be a sign of something bad on the horizon, which it could be nothing or I missed it. The only thing I could follow that up with was birds passing on this circular top, this aura circling them as our little bird angel gained its wings. There is an after credit scene, and it's Will swimming through the water with a big beautiful sun overlooking him, which could mean he's in whale heaven, or there really was an incoming flood at the end and it got to Will just in time to save him. I haven't dug into other people's theories because I wanted to make sure that I gathered my dumb thoughts first. Quickly looking, I saw a 9 Lives theory posted. I didn't really read it, but I'm assuming they're going off the multiple times Kat should have died in the movie. Like, if I counted what I remember, it's Kat drowning, Kat gets dropped by a bird, like a care package kill streak, Kat falls off the top of the boat, Kat falls asleep while on the orb thingy, spherical. I wonder if they're counting the near-death experiences too, like the Cappy cliff save, the bird defense. Cat's struggling in the water multiple times. The initial stampede, he's just like darting around the legs. He wants to die so bad. I don't know. I want to hear from you guys that have watched the film. I want to hear what you think. This whole thing might be a bit niche, but I kind of just wanted to talk about it. I like this movie. So you hit like on this video, subscribe. And as always, I am Mr. Gigi and I am out. Bye.